What up, Blue Chase? Sean Blue here. I'm here to talk to you guys about an interesting character. Um, I don't know if you guys ever saw the movie Taxi Driver, but there was this one scene where Robert De Niro and his girlfriend were walking in the city, and there was this street performer there, this drummer. And I remember watching the movie with my mom, and I remember my mom saying, like, wow, look at his hair. It's creepy. And I remember at the time thinking, yeah, but something about that guy just got my attention, and he seemed like just like an unusual character, and unusual people always appealed to me. So I just thought that scene was interesting, and for whatever reason, well, I didn't see the movie recently, but for whatever reason, I started thinking about this man again, and I decided to look him up online. And it turned out he was a real life street performer in New York City at the time. He was born in 1924 and he passed away in 2005. His name was Gene. And yeah, Gene was just this interesting street performer who who was like a man in his 50s back in the 70s, and I think he was a person that really loved the 30s and the 40s with the great drumming and the great look of the 30s, because later on that day I was watching a Thin Man movie, and this one Thin Man movie it was made 40 years before the movie Taxi Driver was made. And I thought that was so interesting because those were Gene's childhood days, and I'm sure he was inspired of the old drummers and old looks of the 1930s and 40s. And Gene just came off as a person that loved to entertain people. He loved to play the drums, and he was desperately holding on to a time that sadly didn't no longer exist. And I think a lot of us are guilty of that. So yeah, Gene just seemed like a very interesting person, and during playing the drums, like it was just cool stuff like that. You know, a very talented drummer, but unfortunately never quite got his chance to be in the spotlight. But that's okay because he did what he loved to do. He loved to entertain people. There's all these old photographs of Gene like playing on the subway, not only in streets, not only on the streets, but playing actually on a subway. His drum set was set up and he was playing the drums there. Cause cool stuff like that, that's why it's good to like look into things and be yourself. Always be yourself, despite you might like it looking strange to the outside world. Always be yourself. Doesn't matter how the outside world sees you. As long as you're true to yourself, that's what really matters. And Gene was definitely one of those people, yeah, that loved to perform, and he did it in New York City, where all kinds of people could see him, and and that was his home too. And so, like, the point of the story is like, just always be yourself, and strangers are not always that strange. So please, yeah, get out there. And when Gene passed away in 2005, I don't think the New York City streets have quite been the same since. So going all the way back to 2005, Gene. Peace out, Blue Jays. I hope you learned from something from this, and if you didn't, either way, I have to go. But peace out, Blue Jays, and always fly safe.